But I don't have a recording. Whenever you're ready, go. Hey.
On the born day, it said Coach Month. For those that don't know me, my name is Infinite Allen Mark. What I want to try to do is set a precedent. Anyone that comes up on the floor to speak, I would like for you to take it in consideration for the next man and woman that's going to speak behind you. We don't need no one coming here to hold the floor hostage. Make them now as born as brief as possible. The reason why we learned last month, we still have brothers that would like to speak, and because the brothers taking so long to speak, cut right into the cutoff time. You understand? We do deal with the knowledge of self, because we are supreme and intelligent beings. So in that same process of being supreme and an intelligent being, that we are civilized and that we must take things in consideration along these lines, that there are other people that want to speak. You understand? Periodically, I will interrupt to make this down as born again for other people to come in. Now, just a moment. Before I'm going to open it up, I'm going to do a couple of commercials.
What you doing?
All right. Peace.
Hey.
Yeah. This flyer gives you the information on our classes that we have down here weekly. Monday, we have what we call civic classes. Civic covers or engulf everything that we want to speak about. Short-term civilization class. Monday, 5 to 7. Tuesday, we have MGT and GCC for Earth only. Mind that, brothers. Earth only. The only man or the only men that will be here on that night is security. Alright? Reason why we expressing men only, you see here in Medina, we teach the knowledge and wisdom. We also teach that in the black man's body is two people. One wife, one ex, one man, one woman. You understand? There are times when the earth or the sisters meet together and bond. And the reason why I say they need to come together and bond is because they need to come together and get that oneness, that one closeness amongst themselves so that there can be no jitter-jabber, no gossiping about another woman or another man. The process for that is so that we can keep in mind how to cook, sew, and clean. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a male chauvinist. I just use that phrase from adolescence so that you can understand where we're coming from. Our sisters, Sister Leasia, Queen Leasia, and Queen Earthly Embrace, they run that class. They get into anything. They build amongst themselves, but most of all, they teach the sewing class. If you don't know how to cook, I'm quite sure they'll give you a cooking lesson. All of this is in MGT. That's why it's Earth only. Okay? Because we want the Earth to bond amongst themselves. Once the Earth bonds amongst themselves, that kills that gossip about this person and that person. Because your mind is set on doing things for the nation and for the nation. what we want to put to you again. Also, we want you to remind you that this is Universal Black Families Awareness in Court. We have taken the blueprint that was first given to us by Almighty God Allah, and we have re-established that blueprint here in Medina. And that's what it's about. Wednesday night, the first 3 Wednesday nights is Universal Black Family Awareness Executive Board meeting. The members of the executive board, what we do is we come together and we establish the events and things that are going to go take place out here in Medina that is done through the nations that are coming here every month. Reason why I say that, we're not excluding anybody, but we're not allowing anyone to come in and to destroy what we're trying to do. The last Wednesday of the month is Universal Black Family Awareness in general meeting for members and people that want to come in and make membership. Yeah. May 14th is our rally day. There has been a program that was established here in Medina for the young by Father to Father. And for the last couple of years, Universal Black Family has been established. Okay. The event is called Black Awareness Costume Ball. Reason why he used that particular name because this is an event where he is doing for the children. Parents, let the child pick up one of those any famous black historians, history books, dress them up to who they pick out, and help them with a presentation because they have to present a presentation. And we have judges to judge the presentation. We're still doing the $50 for the best guard presentation and dress, and $50 for the best person costume and dress. This event is May 14th. May 14th is a Sunday. It's also our rally day. And what we're going to do is open it up at our rally and turn it over to the children. Right? If you want to bring any food, check with the earth that controls the food, and they'll tell you what type of food it is. Because we don't give out any meat at our rally. Strictly a healthy dish is served here. Right? I'm telling you this because for those that are just coming, we want them to understand. You understand, we are here to save the baby. The only way that we can save the baby, one, is through a nutritional diet. Okay. The next event is a dance. We're doing the dance May 20th. Bring your own brown bag. Reason why we set it up that way, you bring your own food and bring your own food. Cups and sodas will be sold here. Tickets are $15. it can be, this dance is to raise funds for the event that comes behind this one. So this is not just a nation dance. This dance is for everybody. Brothers, sisters, friends, cousins. You understand? I believe, Leasia, $15 at the door?
Yes.
Tickets are $15 and $15 at the door. Okay? Our last event, which is Universal Black Family Awareness, I like to use this word, baby. This is our best. This is where Universal Black Family steps out, really shows them through, and every member on the board goes home very, very tired. God can tell you what you did last year. When I say tired, I mean we go home tired. Last year it took me 2 days to recuperate from that one day. That's the day of the children. Okay? That day, we invite every child in the world to that event. And the parents. We do not allow the parents not to pull out $1 out of his pocket or her pocket to buy balloons or to buy toys. Everything there is for the child. And I believe every child last year was a winner. All of them went home with something. Okay? We're going to have the air balloon, the big air balloon. We're going to have the horses there. The event starts at 10 and ends at 7. Really, it ends at 6. Gives us an hour from 6 to 7 to clean up. Okay? One thing that we do add, if you want to bring your child in, leave the beer and the alcohol at home. Alright? I don't have nothing against it because I like to drink too. I do my thing at home. I might go to a dance, that's it. But this is an event for the children. That's why it's called the Day of the Children. So if you want to do your thing, leave it at home, go away from the park. We don't want it in the park. Reason why June Balloon was crushed for 2 reasons. That was for a day for the children, the merchants got rich, and the children's parents got drunk. It was crushed. Alright? Universal Black Family are the spearhead for the Day of the Children. Alright? These are the upcoming events that we have put into play. And we're going to make it born not just here, but just about all the rallies that we go to and everywhere that we stop. You understand? This is just to show you what Universal Black Family Awareness is about. It's a group of brothers and sisters coming together for one common cause and keeping the greatest or oldest memorial alive. Save the baby. We expressed that. We actually set up events for saving the baby. That's what we're talking about. You understand? A man or a woman can step out here with 120 lessons in their head and every lesson in the universe in their head, and they can quote. But if they ain't doing nothing for the baby, then it don't move. That's what Almighty God Allah is about. That's what we're about. That's what it's all about. And like I said, we have members here on the board that will be speaking. And they will be expressing it. I myself will come back up to re-advertise those that come in. You understand? But like I'm asking again, all those that come up to speak, limit yourself to 10 minutes so that we can get everybody up here and give everybody if there's any sisters in here that want to get up here and speak, you're more than welcome. Feel free to come up here and express your thoughts. That's what it's about. Thank you.
First and foremost, I'd like to say all praise to the Lord of all the world. And say he's Allah alone is the master builder. God just expressed some of the activities that's going on within the course of this point on into their children. And beyond that, basically, in terms of fundraising, in terms of establishing currency, capital. This is our third annual Day of the Children's event. And what has happened is that Universal Black Family, to the best of my ability, has in its own way tried to carry this event. Okay, financially, morally, spiritually, in all aspects on our own. It's this third event, a lot larger than the first two. Reasons for having these fundraisers, we mentioned the dance. We didn't get a chance to mention that we're also selling raffles.
No good.
Raffles are cash value. Excuse me. Raffles are cash value pricing. There's 3 prizes. And 3 prizes of cash are, the first prize is at $200, cash prize of $200. The second prize is a cash prize of $150. The third prize is a $50 cash prize. And so we ask that not only the family of the University Black family, but also the God of the earth, and the community at large. We are going to be tapping into everyone to try to help us create some funds. We have in the past stepped to the politicians and some organizations. We're going to continue to do that. But this year we want to see if we could bring in a little more general body. You know what I'm saying? The community at large, consisting not only of the 5, but the 10, and 85%. 100% value to stimulate this cause, because at that event, all children are welcome. All denominations, age, creed, and color. Now, it's very important that we support ourselves, because we know if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody will take care of us. So again, we will be asking for those of you who can afford it to contribute. Like I said, it's a book. A book goes for $5, or if you don't have $1, whatever, you can use $1. The raffle, I believe it's for $6. It's still $6. Kindle Wide. Yeah. It's still 6 raffles to a book. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on that after you keep on. All right. So you all get a better understanding as we proceed. Keep in mind that the funds that we're trying to bring in must come from among ourselves. You know? So we ask that you put the word out, spread the word between these next few rallies that we'll be having. We have one up in Medina, one up in the desert. Then we're going to have the month of May to work things out up until the Day of the Children. So we ask that you generate the word, put the word out there among all the different communities and let them know what's going on. Word of mouth is a bona fide battle. Some other things I'd just like to briefly touch on with you is the need for us to assert ourselves. You've heard me always talk about asserting ourselves on a little bit money, and we're continuing in that aspect. Nothing has changed. We're reaching out to certain groups within the community outside of our home to create a census
and to create a coalition of sorts of groups and organizations that are going to try to focus a little more on the political agenda of the communities at large. I'm expressing that to you all to keep you all on points of what's going on. I have stated the fact that in my heart and in my mind, I feel that we are qualified and capable of within the next state mayoral election, or the next big election, which I believe will be in 2008, that we as a group, Nation of God on Earth, and we as an organization, Universal Black Family Women, should be positioned to where we cannot put a candidate to some of the positions that might be open within that span of time. Some of the positions I'm talking about are very simplistic in terms that they come up as the understanding increases. We need to start grooming among ourselves persons, male or female, on earth, that are capable of being put into certain positions as, let's start with something small, district leaders. We need to start focusing on, not only here in Medina, but throughout the 5 boroughs. These thoughts and these ideas have to start being generated to groom ourselves that we can extract from among ourselves. Again, whether they be 5, 10, or 85%. The stipulation is that when we bring forth these individuals, that they know that they are held accountable. They are held accountable to the community at large and to the said groups who are in position to put them into office. That has to be done in an order and in a fashion that has not been really executed in a number of decades. You know, people come around and they want to be elected and stuff, and they do the willy bobo, and people go out, and sometimes it's just a small electorate that elects a lot of these people. Because the basic concept right now is that the young at heart, they don't see the sense of these youngsters right now. They're not in a position to vote, but at this age, they should be in a position to at least comprehend the importance of a vote. These are the things we have to start creating among ourselves. The brother mentioned in the terms of the classes that we're going to try to do. I want to share with you, I've been working very closely with a very bona fide individual within the black community. The brother's name is Professor Richard Green. Some of you might know, some of you might not know. He's a brother that has been in leadership positions where he's liked and not liked. That's not important, but he has done lots of good work over the years. He's been close to our family for some 20 some odd, going on 30 years. He's always been there for Universal Black Family, and we've always been there for him. So what's happening is, with a relationship that has been developing over the last, I would say, some odd 5 years now, we have tapped in to some very powerful levels on the political, social, and economic agenda. Brother Green, with help from myself and some of the guys within the Universal Black Family, and the way we do it is we pick each other's brain and we pass ideas on to each other. We sit down and we have these rap sessions, and within the course of those times, ideas are formulated. And what has been happening is that we've been able to put a lot of these ideas on paper. Instead of just running out of mouth, we've been able to coordinate some thoughts and put them on paper so that we can look at them and put them on a reference file. You see what I'm saying? So that at any given time, it can be extracted and executed. Now, the brother not only what we've done here at our community center, we're going to try to manifest that activity throughout the 5 boroughs and beyond. But we first have to start at home. We first have to know how to act at home before you can go to work. Bro. So what happened is we got together and the brother Green, the professor, teaches at Medina, he took the time to put some things on paper. And the reason this was asked to be done, it was asked to be done by the police commissioner of the city of New York, Ray County. So what happened is the brother put some sequence of things together. He packaged it and he presented it. Took it up to the commissioner's office and one police piled up in the city Friday. We were waiting to see what the effect of these papers being handed over would do. And in terms what the proposal and what the process of the proposal is, we're going to try to establish a program which is going to be labeled rights of passage. Rights of passage. That's the thoughts and the ideas in terms of passage. And what the brother did, he put together some terms. He used what I can show here is a 7-point program. It's a program in 7 points. And the very first point, because see, I've been given some understanding from some of my old brothers that we have tended to, in the course of our schools, or our school academies, or our programs, we have always tended to express that we want to have civilization classes. This is a term that we all use among ourselves. We had a civilization class. And it was a better understanding shown that if individuals, not only within the nation of God and earth, but individuals within the community at large are not civic-minded or civic-oriented or pagan, how then can they become civilized? Because you cannot become civilized until you become what? Civic. In order to know the duty of a civilized person, you must first acknowledge what? God. In order to acknowledge God, you have to know what your place is, where you stand, what you can do, what you can develop, what you can give. So what we are doing, the first step in this brother's expression of terms is called civic. Civic. He says that the civic part of this idea is going to deal with Constitution and the laws of the land.
Yes, sir.
Constitution and the laws of the land. Duties and powers of the main 3 branches of government. Chain of command in the state and local governments, and coordination of jurisdiction to include community boards and precincts as well in the court. How the penal code, ordinance, and other laws are enacted and their relations to you, the young person. Right? That's just one of the steps. That's the first step. Just to give you an idea of where we would like to go with the things that we are going to try. See, so today, it's not all about through my knowledge, you will see my wisdom. See, we've come a long way from through my knowledge, you'll see my wisdom. We've come a long way from quoting lessons to each other and trying to impress each other with who knows the most lessons. It's good. That was a rite of passage among us in the beginning of our orientation. And we still continue to do it because It is a part of our what? Presentation. But we also must begin to show for and prove our intelligence and our superiority on other levels of social equality. It is important that we begin to show the world at large how capable we are of becoming civilized. And in doing so, the world will bear what? Witness. People will begin to see how we are coordinating our efforts to be of use not only to ourselves, but the community at what? Large. Because this was our Father's desire, to be participants within the realm of the community at large. Allah didn't give us the knowledge of ourselves so that we could separate ourselves from among the people. Allah's laws were not Yahoo's laws. Allah did not bring forth the knowledge to divide people. Allah's truth was manifested in order to free all the seeds of the planet Earth. And this is one of the reasons why we manifest our true ordinance and our true status within the universe. And one of our greatest tenets among ourselves is that we are not anti-white, nor are we pro-what? Black. We all say this. We all say it, but at the drop of a hat, we'll start to call the Caucasian man a cracker. We'll start to call the Caucasian man a devil. And these things, I mean, the truth is light. But you got to remember, Yaqub, who was the father of the what? Devil, was an original black man. So the need for us to be able to express ourselves to the world at large is very important. And when we teach, we can't just teach one group of people. We can't feel that the truth that we have to tell is only for the black race. See, Allah, when Allah manifested himself, devil was taken off the planet. Allah's truth clarified all that. Allah didn't make no what? Devil. Y'all remember that. Almighty God, Allah, did not make no devil. He manifested God in the truth of his what? Self. These are the things we have to begin to come more into tune with so that we can free ourselves from the insanity of separation. In order to make devil, you must first what? Separate. You must divide. We're not here to divide. We're here to unify all the seeds of the planet Earth. How many are there? How many seeds are there?
Peace, Queen.
Wheat, black, brown, yellow, Caucasian. Huh?
4 6. 4 6. We have to go through half of it.
Red. See, so there are people out there that are in need of some truth. And when you teach truth, you can't teach half truth. You can't tell half the story, you got to tell the whole story. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. And in order to do that, you have to be in tune with the truth. They tell me that the best thing to do is tell the truth and keep good records. When you can do that, you are insured. You are insured. That's what Allah was about. Allah was about telling the truth and keeping good records. See, Allah didn't deny people their given right to choose. Freedom of choice was one of his big. That's why a lot of people didn't understand why he allowed the brothers, because that's all it was an allowance. the brothers to do a lot of things that they were doing. It was freedom of choice. He knew that if they was coming into the knowledge of themselves, as he had done, some way, somehow, they would have to acknowledge God. They would have to. Because that was the process of, not indoctrination, but the process of processing themselves into the reality of themselves. You can't get away from the truth. The truth is the what? So when truth manifests itself, you have to be made aware of that truth. So this is why today we are trying to go out into that world. And we're going out into that world with the conception and the truth that we know who we are and we know where we are going. See, we're not in need of no light. We have all the light. What we now have to do is coordinate ourselves. Better coordinate ourselves so that we can show forth through not only to ourselves, but to the world at large. And see, when those things are being done, when the total population is given the opportunity to see the difference between right and wrong, they will judge better. When they're given the opportunity to see who God is and who God is not, they'll be able to know within their hearts who's right and who's wrong. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. God has already decreed that. So we're moving forward here, especially here in Medina. We are spearheading some new thoughts and some new ideas, and we're working among some people who, to you all in the past, you all wasn't aware of it, but we've been always working with these people. It's just that, how that saying go, it's information for who, how the military say it?
Need to know better.
A lot of what's going on today is on a need to know basis. So ain't no secrets. Ain't nobody pulling no chain of commands on nobody. But a lot of things that's going on is on a need to know basis. And if you want to know, you ask. And we'll let you know. As I said, we're moving in a direction today that within the realm of reality, we are but we will be able to, like I said, put elected officials into office, knowing that the moves that we made within our communities ensured they're being put into office. And then with that in mind, be able to know how to explore those abilities and talents. Once putting someone into an office, knowing how to go to that person and extract some goods and some services. Not only for ourselves, but our community as well. Because that is what civilization is all about. What is the meaning of civilization? One having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement, and who is not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. So when I go amongst the powerful, in all the different arenas that I do, I express from my heart what my Father has taught me. Powerful me, powerful is God. It's not power that politicians have. I don't want the power that politicians have. That's why I don't want to be a politician. I want the power to be able to tell the truth. Because when the truth manifests itself, all things are So again, I know all the brothers will come back again. I want you all to be advised that we're moving in a positive direction. And if your need to be a part of us is not positive, then by all means, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Because you're going to be... There's going to be there's no room for error. We're focusing on some positive thoughts and some positive movements here. And the world is going to bear with this because the world has already bear with it. But now they have to be bought into that witness. They have to be given a clarity of them bearing witness. By allowing them the opportunity to see the right and the wrong. So again, remember, we're moving in some positive directions. We'll continue to inform you throughout these different community values and tolerance. And in due time, we hope that we can show you how you can go back into your community and do the same things that we do. Go back into your community and be able to know how to talk to the politicians. Go back into your community and know how to go into the police headquarters and the police station and talk to the captain and talk to the deputy inspector and the inspector. You see what I'm saying? And know that when you talk, you're talking with thank you, sir. Not only conviction, but with authority and force. This is what we're about today. We're not about standing on the corner, drinking what? Yes. I mean, if that's your thing, you go on and do your thing, then but you'll come among us with it. Because that's not what we're about. What we're about is show forth and prove that the meaning of civilization is one having knowledge, understanding, culture, and body. And it's not because it says it is not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. So if drinking a quarter and smoking a blunt makes you happy, you can't be happy around me. Can't. Because I'm going to mess with your head. I'm going to mess your head up. So you can't be happy around me. And to keep us from being in any squabble, it's best for you to go your way and you go my way. But this is what it's going to be. What? This month is what? Culture month? Huh? This is the culture month. And today is the what? Born day. And like we say here in Medina, especially up in Crown Heights, something born, something God is. Look out. Here we come. Again, as I open, I like to close. All praise from my heart and my mind. Ever is due to Allah, Lord of all the world, Master of this day and judgment. I say, He Allah, and He Allah alone is the Master of this.
Praise God. For those that don't know me, they begin to wise of God, and the day mathematics is born. Now the God that showed you something born being great, I'm showing you, as I add on, the cycle is going to be complete with me, and we're going to add that on, and we're going to deal with just the truth. So we're going to add something on today. That gives everyone the ability to add something back. Because as we also know that this is the year of equality, cycle equality. So as I deal with the equality of the cycle, and equality means to be equal, that means I'm going to draw you up so that you can see what I see, and that's understanding understood. And that's the equality of our Father. That we come together and we be as one nation. That we be complete in our cycle. That means that everybody has a part in that cycle in order to keep it complete. Because unity represents you and I coming together for one common cause. And this enables us to teach that there's only one God. So my success is your success. So if I'm not in the pursuit of happiness, you should not be in the pursuit of happiness. You should be teaching others how to be like us. But we are the piece with the magnet. So that's what I'm about to show and prove now. By renewing what the first couple of guards came up here and said about black family and what we want to do in the next couple of months. And there's some information also I want to add on to y'all, for y'all that don't know. They're doing reconstruction in our park, Fort Greene at the head. Okay? So we won't be up at the top there. Although we have a permit to be there, we will not be in the area that we normally do our parliament. Alright? We have not really did something right up to let the nation know, but we will be on it probably at this round. We'll let y'all know what's going on and what we're going to do to compensate for that. They gave us outside the park, so we'll be mostly in the public eye. We'll be almost on Murray Avenue. We'll be mostly in the public eye. Now, I've seen some people utilize that area for their own events, marriages, and little things that they've been doing up in that park here and there. But that's some information you need to keep in mind and let the rest of the family know, so that when they do come, or when we do come to the Fort Greene rally, y'all know when it's happening and y'all know where to go at and where we're going to be at. Okay? Now, with that comes another issue, that in July rally, we have to figure out what we're going to do our Children's Day rally and compensate for that. So there needs to be a lot of planning. But as y'all know, Universal Black Family is working on a couple of things, and we've been pretty busy at it. One of them is we've been doing fundraising. All right? This year we happen to be blessed and got members. So we have a little bit more help. Okay, so we're working hard at it to make it a success. The reason why we're doing it on our own is because we've been trying to raise money from outside. And as y'all know, raising money is very difficult. You gotta have a just and true cause. So to me, there's no other passion that I have to raise money to do something for our children in our community. And invite other communities throughout the 5 boroughs, especially throughout our 5 boroughs. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking to you to show my love and my passion to make something happen, not only on the day of the children, but on the Children's Day rally also. So this is my passion. In fact, I've been given that permission, so I'm like in charge of raising money. Because if we don't raise money, like last year, some of that will be coming out of our pocket. And we had no doubt about that. We're going to make that happen, because that's what happened last year. You understand? So we don't want to be off time. So our knowledge got to add on when I speak to you. All right? So I have to show ways of helping you or helping us to help ourselves. You understand? So that we can learn the practice of doing for self, making things happen. Because we have not gotten our reparations, we have not gotten our 40 acres in the mule. So everything that black families do, it do for itself, and we do it volunteer. Don't nobody paying us, and nobody give us nothing. So when we try to do something for the children, we go all out for myself. A lot of it comes from us. So I'm asking for a lot of it this year to come from y'all. You understand? Not just hear that these things are taking place, but to participate. Because it's one thing I learned in this nation since I've been here for 39 years, is that we got to stop doing one-shot deals. And if we're going to stop doing one-shot deals, then we have to learn how to keep the cycle complete, how to keep doing something. And doing it. Because every time you add a cycle to your knowledge, you notice it gets greater. So that our idea is to do Children's Day this year, much greater than we did it last year. A little bit more organized. Because we see that our children need to be introduced to that happiness that we're not in the pursuit of. That love, that So we want to bring it to our children and to the children of the community as much and as often as we can. And so we want to keep saying this is our 3rd anniversary. And to me, as I knew it, the first one was like a battle. We know God's come together, we just take whatever we got and we deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Our second one, we included the community. And we were surprised of how they came out when we gave the call for our second Day of the Children. This is the day that is also on the calendar, so it is a holiday. This year we're going to have it on a Saturday. So there's no, there's room and most people are out on Saturday, trying to enjoy it. So we're trying to make sure that there's another place that they can come and enjoy the Day of the Children. Okay? Now, as y'all know, here comes the economics. I'm being responsible of help raising money for a Day of the Children. So as y'all heard earlier, there's some events that are taking place. Next rally, for instance, on that rally, we like to do our costume ball because we ran late with it because the guard was a little sick. So we got the request late. So we begin to manifest that we want to do that on our next rally here for the children, a costume ball. So we want the information to get to the earth, the gods, and the community, and those that y'all know in the community that heard about what we did about it last year, so that y'all can invite them back. Okay? We want it to be the gods and the earth, children coming to do it, but we also, time is our time now. So it's our time to show them proof. We can't blame nothing on the devil, so whatever happens, it happens because we make it happen. This is our time, true our master equality. You understand? So that means if you're the master, or what you hear coming from the master, then that makes us one and the same. That makes us on the same page. You understand? So I'm expecting all of y'all to contribute to the Day of the Children if you say you about the children. I don't want to hear nothing, I ain't got nothing, I ain't doing nothing. We got a whole 2 months. And as I heard someone mention earlier, y'all buy them things, y'all buy y'all equality, y'all buy y'all understanding, and y'all need to sacrifice one of those bags or one of those packets to give the black family or give to your family so that we can make the best day we can for our children. If you smoke cigarettes, you need to sacrifice a pack and buy one of those wrappers. You understand? You need to make some sacrifices for that. If you say you love the children. So sometimes we have to be reminded of our duty. And y'all have to understand that when y'all come here because y'all family. So y'all part of the black family, whether y'all on the executive board, whether y'all a member or not, y'all are family. And our duty is to our extended family. Our family outside of this. And our family outside of this, that extended family embraces 85% of our community, of our nation, of our world, of our idea in the way people think and live their life. They fit in one of those categories, 5%, 10%, or 85%. So when we come together as one. So we say we're dealing with it all, 100%. We ain't chucking and diving, we ain't got no illusion, we ain't waiting up on no mystery God. So we deal with the whole 120. Meaning there's nothing outside of this greater than you. Nothing. There's nothing outside of this room or this cycle here that is greater than us. We ain't got to worry about who here and who ain't here. There's nothing outside of this. Because this cycle is complete. So that cycle has to be added on to the what knowledge? So we are in accordance with the mathematics. And I'm talking about our future. I'm talking about tomorrow, which will be knowledge at a cycle. I'm talking about next month. I'm talking about this dance, this fundraiser dance, and this is kind of new for us. But it's that time. It is time for us to start thinking about economics, about making money for this nation so that we can make things happen. To do that, we must learn how to plan. We must learn how to put our thoughts on paper. We must learn how to communicate with each other. We must get to know each other. I remember at the last couple of hours we've been talking about loving each other. Getting to know each other. I can't love you if I don't know you. I used to teach to know me is to love me. You gotta know me to love me. So you must see it that way too. We have to get to know each other. So we have to start communicating. And we have to create a system as an organization that allows us to do that. As the gods of earth, we are over 40 years into our existence. So that represents our freedom. And many of us still have the idea that we're God and we can do what we want to do. How we want to do it and when we want to do it. As an organization, we learn how to do things organized, in time and place, and purpose and meaning. And we can do that as universal black family and still maintain our equality as the gods in the earth. We can do that, meaning we can do that and have that, you understand, without stepping on anybody else's toes or their God. Because I'm in the frame of development. If you're not with me, you against me, so you go your way and I go my way. But if you with me, then if you're subject to show and prove. You are subject to give me something back for my ability to stand up here and give it to you. Because much is given, much is required. So I'm giving to you because I'm requiring something from you. As I understand it and I want to be understanding, it is through my wisdom and through lies that I get it from you. And I use my intelligence rapidly. But in the time I need to have your name,
People watching.
your name and your number so that I can, call Billy back on him and take it. I got to give you, catch up with you so you can give it on time. All right? So, and that would be appreciated, But we try not to come out of our pockets for our children, so we all come together and add on to the things that y'all heard about. We can make it happen. It's possible, because with God, all things are possible.
I just want to make a quick announcement. The restrooms downstairs, the Earth's restrooms, there's only one stall that's been ordered right now. I have a sign on one, and it's locked. There's only one stall. Young brothers in here, I want to let you all know right now. Go downstairs, do not create no mess, do not mess up anything, do not touch anything down there. You gotta do what you have to do and come back up, all right?
Yes.
Peace. Come in there, Paul and Sean, the love on this day of born. I'm laughing because messing up the bathroom is always a man's thing. We want to do it. All right. I know we heard a lot about the Day of the Children, and we're going to be pushing it hard because this is a major event that we do. And I'm also aware that for some of y'all like Raju and Najee, this is just a reminder of all the work they did that day. And we did appreciate y'all coming out the way you did.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Day of the Children, for a little history, you heard Ken Duke say that it's on the calendar. It was started by Mayor Lindsay, and I would say 1967 or 68. And what he did was he wanted to do something for the different communities in New York City. So he came up with an event called Day of the Children. And the first year he did it, it was just for New York and the boroughs in New York. And the next year he did it, it went countrywide. He flew in 200 children from each state into New York to have the Children's Olympics. So we wanted to follow that up because we were doing the event in Cusar Heights and Crown Heights. It's called June Balloon. for years in the Nation of Gods and Earths, we assumed that was the Nation of Gods and Earths event. So we were going from all boroughs. One year we had this thing in the desert where we would split our forces. The gods would stay in the desert and hold the rallies. We would send the Earths and the babies out to Medina to June balloon. So we were doing this it went on for a long period of time because the gods controlled that part for a number of years. Now, we have a lot of the older gods here now with us that was controlling that back in the 60s, 70s. And then when those gods moved out, we had another team of gods that moved in, another team of young gods. And they started controlling that same park because of the way the park is built. On the highest point in the park is the cipher. So we used to always hold our ciphers at that point. So when they decided that they wanted to kill June balloon for reasons that Ken do mention, the adults that started coming out, getting stimulated, the event started going for the whole weekend. They would start on a Friday night. Jamaican bands would come out and they would control Friday night. Saturday night, another group of bands would come out and it just got out of hand. And the Children's Museum, who was a big funder of that event, decided that they wasn't funding it anymore. So they just cut it out completely, whether the children was having a good time or not. So we decided that we can pick this up. We can pick this up, but we can drop the negative aspects of it, which is things for adults. Because at one point they started doing things for adults. They started bringing out entertainment for adults, and that's how it started going downhill. So we decided we're going to kill all of that. We're not doing anything for adults. This is going to be strictly for children. We're bringing out children games, children balloons. Now I mentioned the God what I do in IG. I'm going to go into that since I said games. We had tents set up. We had, I believe it was 4 tents hooked up in a row. And we did a little Coney Island thing. My Earth and myself that went to an event a week before the last June balloon, the last day of the children. And at this event, they had games set up like Coney Island, where you come in, you throw darts at balloons, you throw a football through a little hole, and that's what we did in the tent. And these guards held it down, along with a few other people. But when they came in, they really stayed for the whole duration. Now, you can also get a free shirt that day, but the free shirts are only for volunteers, which means that you're going to be out there maybe 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock will probably be the latest that you get out there that morning. And you're going to be out there for the whole day, and there's no breaks. There's nobody to relieve you. So when you take a post, you're going to be on that post for the duration of the day. We're going to wear you out. You got to go to the bathroom, you're going to be working with somebody else. We're going to tag team. But that's how it's going to run. We're going to be doing it for the whole day long. And as the guard said, we set up a little thing that we had vendors coming in the park. It was one vendor came in, wanted to sell ice cream. But we gave away at least 400 ice cream cones that day. So he came in the park, but he wasn't able to sell anything. And that's when we decided to let the vendors know, if you bring a product up in this park, the first parent we see come out their pocket, we're taking everything you got. And we're giving it out to the children. We're giving it out to the children. Up to this date, we haven't had a problem with it. Everything goes smooth with it. And we're not looking for any problems this year. The first year we did it, we spent $700. We spent $700. We had a lot of events going. The second year we did it, we went to councilmen, we went to the community boards, we went to a lot of people with our budget of what we did with $700. And they were all impressed with the way we spent the money. So they started kicking more money into us. Last year we spent close to $4,000 on the event. This year we're looking to spend at least 10 G's on it. This is why we're coming up with other fundraisers. Now in this nation we say there is no mystery God. So if something has to be done, all above is caused by the Son of Man. It's going to be done by us. So what we did, we came up with a fundraiser called a dance. And this dance, we decided that to maximize on the money, we're not holding a ball, we're not cooking no food, we're going to do setups. What a setup is that you come in with your people, you have what was mentioned earlier, your own brown bag. It was put to me by Earth that we shouldn't really use that term, your own brown bag. That leaves it open for a lot of different things in that bag. So we saying you can bring your own drink. Anything else, do it later when you get home.
That's right.
Don't do it before you come out. We don't want to see you like that. We want to see you at your best. If you want to be the uncle in the 1 in 36, be that at home. Don't be it out here. We need you to be the supreme being out here. All right? So in that brown bag, you can bring your drinks. The setups that we're going to be selling plates. We're going to be, is that right, Sel? We're going to be ice, cups, that kind of thing. Sodas, exactly. That's what we mean when we say setups. So you can invite your family, but we do ask that you stretch one thing. Do not have no pork up in here. We don't want to smell it, we don't want to see it, we don't want it around us. All right? But please invite your family, invite whoever's willing to sell a ticket, or pardon me, buy a ticket. And if they're not willing to come and they willing to buy a ticket, sell them the ticket. Sell them the ticket. This is a fundraiser.
Yes, sir.
This is the way we decided to add on. This is just one of the ways that we're coming up with this money to do this event. Now, we're also doing a match of funds event, where last year we rented a balloon, an air balloon. I think the air balloon cost us close to $600 for 2 hours. So we're going to politicians and we're asking them to match that. We buy a balloon, you buy a balloon. And a lot of them are going with the matching funds. They're saying, okay, we can match what y'all put out. They're thinking we're a little small organization, y'all ain't gonna put out so much money. But we've been actually fooling them with it. And but the thing is, they've been sticking to their word. We had one politician who kind of put a damp on our spirit last year in reference to money. He promised us $1,500. The event came and gone, we didn't get the money. Well, we didn't get the money at the beginning of this year. So we were able to kick that money back to bills that we had from last year's event. We're just starting to clear up those bills now. But as God said that we're going to pull this off regardless of what we have to do. We're going to pull this off. If we have to cut back on the things that we do, we're going to have to cut back. But from what we're seeing so far, it's going to be better this year. Crunch Gym just came to us. They would like to set up a table. And they made a proposal to us that they would pay for their table. But the thing that I'm looking to do is I don't want you to pay for your table. Match some of these funds. You tell me you're going to give me $1,000 and I have $1,200 worth of balloons, then I'm kind of short. So what we need is for you to match our funds. We have a list, and this list is available to anybody that wants it. What we pay for everything. So this way you can look at the list and say, okay, God, this is what I want. I deal with this. So this way we can pull it off for the children. Okay? Now, as I said, we're going to keep pushing this idea because we would like to push it throughout the country. Not just here in New York, but throughout the country. And the way we're looking at it is, you heard God say that we have to get out of the mode of one-hit wonders. We have to show, in the words of Martin Luther King, longevity has its place. We have to put longevity in the things that we do. We have to, if we say we can predict history 25,000 years in advance, then come on, we can predict at least 1 year. We can predict next year we're going to do this event, this is how it's going to be done, and it's going to be a success. And as long as we give all we have and all within our power, there is no doubt it's going to be a success. We have too many members in the nation of God and earth, 10,000 alone in New York, for it not to be a success. Anything that we do, we should be able to become masters at it after we do it more than one time. After you do it more than one time, then it's a learning experience. You're supposed to pick up things that you did wrong from last period and improve on those things. And this is what we're doing this year. So we're asking for the nation, if you feel you can't contribute money, contribute time. Time is something that can't be paid for. And that's something that you can't actually get back. So when you give us time on that day, you're going to see that your time is worth probably more than you could have put in money. Because we're going to wear you out. We're going to wear you out. And for those of us that have children, have 2, 3, 4, 5 children, you understand what I'm saying. Especially when you have to deal with at least 2,000 children. Now you're talking about you're going to be tired after the end of the day. Well, I have this little thing that I do in the early morning called Red Bull. So this way I'm perked up for the day, midday I'm getting another one. Because I know how the day is going to go. Alright? So You brothers, you sisters, if you want to add on, all you have to do is see one of our members, and we'll tell you what you can do for that day. We're looking for drivers, because that day, our vehicles are constantly moving. Last year, we had to rent extra vehicles just to get our stuff to the location. And then we had to bring personal vehicles in to help out. So we're talking a lot of work. And for the event to keep getting bigger and bigger every year, the work we had last year will be nothing compared to what we're going to do this year. Because we already have our plans set that we start early in the morning. A lot of this is our goal now, to work smart and recruit members in the Nation of Guards and Earths to help out and do volunteer work. And when we say volunteer work, this is what we're saying, volunteer work. You're not going to get paid for it. The only pay that you will receive for it is the glory of knowing that you were a part of it.
Yes, sir.
Because I think we can all say we had a good time last year. Can you say that, y'all?
Yes, sir.
I know he worked. He worked, and actually, to tell you this, I had just met the guard, and we went through a little confrontation, and I was beginning to develop a little disrespect for him until he came out that day. Then he showed and proved where his heart was. He didn't care about me. He cared about working with them children. He got in that tent and he didn't come out. He didn't come out. He held it down for us. So that meant that I knew that I can respect this man because he's not friendly. A lot of us use the term that we in it for the babies. In Black family, we understand that that's a shit that a lot of us use when we want to do what we want to do. Exactly. That's what we use it for, to hide our own little dirty religion. But on that day, we are actually about only the babies, and we will let adults know. Just like we have a regular cook that cooks for us every day of the children. That's Umar. He's another one. He gets on the grill, and to give you an idea what he did, I think it was year before last, the first year, he brought grills from Harlem. Our vehicle couldn't get to him. He drove them grills on the train. He left one at the top of the stairs, took it down, went and got the other one. So that let us know that he was dedicated in what he was doing. So last year, we went and brought expensive grills. God, you don't have to do that. You just come out and you do the cooking. So when you come out and you say, I'm going to help out, the next year, we're going to look for you to help out too. But we're going to look to make the job easier than it was last year. Because as I said, we work smart. And in working smart, the first person we see working hard ain't thinking. It's not thinking. Okay, now we're asking to develop teams as well. Teams on different things that we're going to be doing to give you an idea. We have the air balloon. We have the toy tent. We have the food. We have the drinks. We have the drummers. We have ponies. All of these events are going to be somewhere in the park, and we're going to need volunteers at that location, such as the ponies. We need people in line to keep the children in line for the pony, and then we need people to put them up on the ponies, to walk with the ponies around in a circle. So it's going to be a lot of activity, I think last year we might have had 100 volunteers, wasn't enough. Our face painters complained. Next year, can y'all have more face painters? We have this one sister, Karen Turner. Every year she comes out and she do face painting for us. She's from Crown Heights. Last year, we just happened to get lucky enough with Earthly Jewel, where she invited help vans out, and they brought their own face painters. They had 2 extra face painters to come out to our event, and we wore them out. And they complained, next year, can y'all have more face painters? We'll try to have more face painters out as well. Last year, I think we had 2 ponies. We wore the ponies out. This year, we're looking at having more ponies come out. And it just so happens that we were up at law school, and the brother rides up at the school to get a newspaper. Cowboy had cowboy boots on. So we're looking at him. Oh, brother, where are you from? I'm from Medina. What part of Medina? I'm from the Belt Parkway. You a black cowboy? He said, yes, I'm with the Federation. Good, let's talk. So we were able to get the extra ponies to come out. It's just by who we know. And when we actually check on each other, we find we know a lot of people. We know a lot of people. And usually people are always willing to help out and do stuff with children. All we have to do is ask them. We're not saying, which black family, we do not go in there saying we're members of the nation of God's and earth. No, we come in there wearing our flags. Everybody in New York knows the flag when they see it. They may try to front, but that 7 is going to hit them in the face. So when we go in there, we let them know we're a universal black family. We don't separate ourselves from the nation of God's and earth. Eventually that comes out because they sit there looking at our flags. So we answer the question for them. Yes, we're members of the nation of God's and earth. Y'all may know us as 5%ers. Now they really start getting curious. Why y'all dealing with the children? They're used to us, as God said, being out on that corner, tossing 40s and blunts. So when we come up there and we present a whole new image, that really catches them. A group of guards went in to see a politician in towns. Now word got back to us that his assistant said something to him and to another brother that was running for council that these brothers said they're from the nation of God's and earth, but they're not the norm. And we had to let the brother, the sister's husband know that we are the norm. What y'all see isn't the norm. When y'all see brothers out there doing negativity, that's not the norm for us. The norm is those brothers that live in productive lives, that's out there producing. God is always a producer. When you know you God is when you can walk into a room and not say a word and people see something different. They say when God steps into your life, he affects a change. And this is what we have to do. And this is what we're doing out here in Medina. We went to the councilmen, we sat in, we did a presentation for community board. And in these presentations, we started learning different things. Now we're to a point where we're not going soliciting funds from people to do this event. They're coming to us. Here's my card. Please call me. I want to be a part of this event. One thing about politicians, which I always try to impress on the nation of God and earth, is that if you have numbers, they will submit to you. They will submit in a minute because they want your vote. So once we learn to be political savvy, learn to control voting blocks, then these people will give us anything we want. And this is what we're seeing, that they're bowing down to us. We go in there, and then we start getting little clues. Somebody come to us and tell us, y'all know y'all can get a school bus from each community board to come to your event, and the community board has to pay for that bus. We didn't know that until last year. When we found that out, we went to the community boards, and we let them know that. If y'all want to know, all you have to do is speak to your chairman. He can get a school bus to come pick y'all up and take you to the event. And in doing that, a guard went to a school, a few guards from Crown Heights. They took our flyers out to the public schools in the area. This is how we have so many children. The public schools started doing class trips to come to that event. So we had at least 6 public schools bring their students out from their schools out to our event. So that actually blew it up bigger than we were really hoping for. But being that the nation of God and earth had started adding on, we were able to come along quick. Now this year we're doing the same thing. If you have somebody that you think can make a contribution to the event, just come to us. We have people that we send out. We have a little policy. If you're not good at doing something, we're not going to ask you to do it. You ain't saying a word. All you're doing is doing the knowledge of what's being said. You're recording history. You're paying attention. So this way, if you ever have to step into those shoes, you can handle it. On our board at Black Family, we have the Chief of Public Relations for the Nation of Gods and Earths. That's Jamel God. He's very good at what he does, which is going out to these people and opening them up to a point where they love for him to even come in and talk. Just come in and talk to them. We did this thing where we wanted to become more familiar with the police in our neighborhood. You'll hear us say this a lot. If you see a patrolman in your neighborhood 5 times a week, at that same time, he's on a shift. Get to know him, let him get to know you. So this way,